Our next speaker is Savannah from Integrative Genetics and Genomics.
Imagine you're sitting in front of a doctor after a routine mammogram, and she says, "We found a lump." For 1 in 8 women, this is one of the most terrifying sentences they'll ever hear. But they'll soon learn that the vast majority of patients who do not survive breast cancer aren't actually killed by that lump or their primary tumor, which is generally treatable. Instead, patients die from the spread of that lump, also known as metastasis, to more dangerous and untreatable places like the lungs, liver, bones, or brain. So the question is then, how are tumor cells getting from the breast to more lethal places? Often by burrowing into the bloodstream and hitching a ride to a secondary location. But here's the interesting thing. For a tumor cell, which is used to sitting comfortably nestled in the solid tissue of the breast, riding in the bloodstream is like us hopping out of these chairs and catching some class 5 whitewater rapids on a pool floaty. Tumor cells are shredded by the speed of the bloodstream or killed by immune cells which recognize them as dangerous invaders. So how do any tumor cells survive this and spread? Well, one main way is by becoming partners with platelets. Now, if you've ever had a cut and not subsequently bled to death, you have experienced your own platelet partnership, as they normally work to clot our blood. But unfortunately, it appears that when tumor cells enter into circulation, platelets jump to their aid as well, forming a protective coat and guarding them from the treacherous conditions of the bloodstream. While this protection is sort of like trading in that pool floaty for a kayak and a life jacket. While this protection offers tumor cells a way to survive in circulation, disrupting this interaction presents a vulnerability. And that's where I come in. I hypothesize that upon entering into circulation, tumor cells present a special structure called mucin 4 to recruit platelet help. In the absence of mucin 4, our lab has observed that tumor cells and platelets do not associate to nearly the same degree, and as a result, these metastasizing cells cannot survive in circulation. Through my research, I aim to understand how mucin 4 is facilitating the tumor cell platelet partnership so that we can work to destroy metastasizing tumor cells by preventing their association with their most trusted partner. Metastasis is the single greatest barrier to a comprehensive breast cancer cure. Luckily, tumor cells have a weakness. By preventing their association with platelets, the bloodstream will kill tumor cells so that tumor cells cannot kill our patients. Thank you.
So I'm wondering, what do people ask the most often about your research? And I'm talking about people outside of your research group, right?
I get 2 questions about my research. One is the government hiding a cure for cancer? Which my answer is always, if they were, then I would really be wasting my time and I'd be very upset. And the second is, have you cured cancer yet? Mm-hmm. Which unfortunately I have not, I will say. I'm only a second year, but stay tuned. Yeah, those are the 2 questions.
Now, what do you wish they would ask?
I think I wish that people would ask, well, I mean, I don't mind those questions. Mm-hmm. I think that I can, give a witty response, which is always fun. But I think I wish people would ask me what is most interesting to me about cancer and why. Really, what is the most interesting thing I've read recently about cancer? Because usually I'm always reading new interesting things, and also how we can better increase the dialogue between scientists and the public about cancer, because I think there is a very big gap often.
Right. So what do you think about that, about the non-scientific literature about cancer? I mean, not long ago I read The Emperor of All Maladies.
Yeah.
And so this type of effort, how do you think that gets across the actual, I mean, I know this is more on the medical field, the example I gave, but this type of communication effort.
So your question is kind of how do I feel about non-scientific
Yes.
communication about cancer? I think it's important. I think it's important for average people to be able to connect with the idea of what cancer is on a scientific level. But I do think we need to be very careful because I think that there is a lot of misinformation out there about cancer. But for example, like the Emperor of All Maladies, I think is a great way of encapsulating cancer and what it is and how it affects people.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you.